The day she called my Purple Heart service dog a violation was the day I decided to show her what a real violation looks like. It was 6 a.m. on a Tuesday morning in suburban Phoenix. The desert air still cool and carrying that sharp creosote scent mixed with the faint hum of automatic sprinklers ticking across manicured lawns like suburban metronomes. I stumbled to the front door in boxers and a ratty army t-shirt, rubbing sleep from my eyes, wondering why someone was hammering like the world was ending. When I swung the door open, no one was there, just an official-looking notice taped at eye level, screaming in aggressive red ink that bled through cheap paper. Notice of pet violation. Immediate removal of oversized aggressive breed dog required or face $500 daily fines. Rex, my 4-year-old German Shepherd, sat calmly beside me in his official service vest, already sensing my stress spiking before I fully processed the words. He'd been trained by the VA for $40,000 to do exactly this. Deep pressure therapy when my hands shake, crowd navigation when panic crowds in, interrupting nightmares before they spiral. This furry therapist, my lifeline after 2 Iraq tours and enough shrapnel scars to make TSA agents pause, was now labeled a violation by some power-hungry neighbor. My name is Garrett Morrison, 34, Purple Heart recipient, divorced 18 months ago after my ex-wife CrossFit trainer turned out to be more than a workout buddy. I chose Meadowbrook Estates for the large backyard where Rex could run without complaints, a quiet place to heal without judgment. Most neighbors were decent. Mrs. Olivia next door brought homemade dog treats and shared stories of her late husband's Army service. The Rodriguez family waved supportively, their teenagers thinking Rex was cooler than any Marvel hero. Even Bob the mailman stopped to scratch his ears during deliveries. But Brenda Whitmore had other plans. Picture every entitled substitute teacher fused with real estate authority. 58, white BMW with custom HOA 1 plates, arms perpetually crossed, lips pursed like she'd been mainlining pickle juice. She'd moved in 8 years ago and immediately ran for the board like it was the Supreme Court. She drove the neighborhood like surveillance detail, timing power walks to coincide with routines, probably keeping a spreadsheet of everyone's lawn watering schedule. 3 weeks earlier, she knocked at exactly 7 p.m. pathologically punctual about harassment. Her aggressive perfume lingered like a chemical weapon. "Your dog's barking disturbs the peace," she announced, though Mrs. Olivia later confirmed Rex hadn't barked once in 18 months. I explained calmly, "He's a service animal under the ADA, psychiatric support for PTSD. Her response chilled me. "I don't see any blindness here." When I cited the law on invisible disabilities, her parting shot was icy. "We'll see about that." She controlled 3 allies on the 7-person board, turning bureaucracy into a weapon. The setup was surgical. One incident, where Rex barked at a raccoon in the trash at 11 p.m. Normal dog behavior, but Brenda had ring footage ready, citing noise violations like suburban NSA. My IT security background kicked in when I dug into the governing documents. The original 2008 covenants allowed working animals without size or breed restrictions, but the online version from 2019 mysteriously omitted that clause. Someone had edited them quietly. No vote, no record. Mrs. Olivia brought intel over green tea that tasted like liquid courage. Brenda was recruiting neighbors to document incidents, pressuring the Rodriguezes about cameras, even threatening fence permits. 3 foreclosed homes in recent years, all previous targets of her campaigns, bought below market by buyers linked to her realty company. This wasn't about noise. It was a real estate scam, forcing distressed sales for commissions. 72 hours after our confrontation, a thick certified letter arrived, bleeding red ink. Emergency hearing in 72 hours, multiple violations cited, pet size, aggressive breeds, retroactive noise. $500 daily fines threatened. My coffee mug cracked the granite counter. Rex pressed against my legs with a concerned whine. But Brenda's first mistake. She picked someone who knows research. Federal law trumps HOA covenants on disability accommodations, ADA bedrock, Fair Housing Act. HOAs can't override it. My digital forensics uncovered the altered covenant's smoking gun in archived pages. Brenda had sabotaged protections for disabled residents. The hearing was rigged, Brenda's voting block stacked, community email blasting Rex as a menace to property values and kids, ignoring his service status. In the clubhouse smelling of industrial carpet cleaner, Rex in his vest looked more professional than half the board. I brought documentation, printouts, phone recording, legal in Arizona's one-party consent state. Brenda gavelled like a prop, limiting my time. When they questioned Rex's training, anyone can buy a vest. He sensed my stress, positioned across my feet for deep pressure therapy, proving his $40,000 VA skills. Irony delicious. I presented the altered covenants. Brenda deflected. Routine updates. No minutes existed. The vote never happened. Mrs. Olivia testified. Rex is gentleman dog. Problem is not dog. Problem is woman who make trouble. Energy shifted. Neighbors saw the kangaroo court. Post-hearing, more stories emerged. Fence heights, garden gnomes, basketball hoops, all targets. Brenda wasn't just after me. Retaliation hit. $500 daily fines. Property liens threatened. Ultimatum with a sheriff's deputy for intimidation theater. But her escalation created evidence. Veterans Legal Aid attorney Amanda Torres reviewed it, cleared disability discrimination, personal liability for board members. HOA insurance excludes civil rights violations. Brenda hired a PI in a tinted van, telephoto lenses documenting fetch and bathroom breaks. She fished my ex-wife for character info. Jennifer told her where to shove it. False animal control complaint brought Officer Martinez, who saw the vest and paperwork, called it fraudulent. Misdemeanor under Arizona law. He knew Brenda from prior frivolous calls. She ran anonymous social media smears, fake accounts defaming my PTSD, crop photos making Rex look aggressive. Miguel Rodriguez, the 17-year-old neighbor with digital skills, traced IPs, timestamps, linguistic quirks, her fingerprints everywhere. Community backlash built. Rex Appreciation Committee, yard signs, petition with 67 signatures. A Phoenix Business Journal journalist uncovered Brenda's financial desperation, lawsuits, near bankruptcy, needing commissions from forced sales. I found her violations. Unpermitted pool house too close to the line, oversized fence, unlicensed home business in her shed office, HOA funds embezzled for personal spa services. She owed $52,000 in fines by her own rules, selective enforcement gold. Allies assembled. Amanda for federal complaints, Mrs. Olivia's casserole brigade as Intel Network, Miguel's forensics, even Chuck the ex-cop board member reconsidering. Media prepped, veterans groups adopted the cause. Brenda's desperation peaked. Attempted bribery of a city inspector, recorded, fake bite report, no victim existed, fabricated dog theft via Craigslist remover. Mrs. Olivia intervened. Sharing my VA records publicly, HIPAA felony territory. Contacting my employer with OSHA lies, backfired. Company offered legal help. At the final board meeting, 80-plus residents, media cameras rolling, Brenda gavelled in a power suit, hands shaking. She declared federal law didn't apply. Amanda presented the dossier. Discrimination, fraud, embezzlement, personal liability. Officer Martinez served a restraining order on camera. Brenda melted down, shouting about fake veterans, demanding proof of invisible disabilities, captured live. Board members distanced. Chuck apologized publicly. Vote. Removed as president 6-0. Violations rescinded. Apology issued. Legal fees reimbursed. Brenda stormed out screaming conspiracies, BMW speeding away. 6 months later, the community reformed. Transparent policies. Rex's rule for service animals. Fund for veterans facing discrimination. Brenda faced charges, false reports, HIPAA, embezzlement, probation, license suspended, house sold for restitution, moved to Tucson. Rex became neighborhood mascot, symbol of dignity over tyranny. Friendships formed, PTSD recovery deepened. A scholarship program from settlement funds trained service dog for 12 more veterans. raising $25,000 plus yearly. Property values rose with positive media. Veterans' families sought the inclusive community. Brenda's war created the opposite: stronger bonds, protections for the vulnerable. Federal law exists for this. Know your rights, document everything, stand up. It doesn't just protect you, it builds safer neighborhoods. Share your HOA stories below. Sometimes fighting back isn't revenge. It's building a better world, one block at a time. Rex and I are thriving, sunset watching in peace, no violations in sight.